Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit early and then we're just gonna go.
Okay.
What's up, guys? We're gonna do another analysis for the Long Library Discord. This time, the one that's joining us is Call Me Zero. What's up, man?
Hello, what's up?
So we're gonna be looking at his 1804 PB, and we're gonna just going through it. And if we see some mistakes that can be avoided, we can give him some tips, and maybe that's gonna help out some other people. So right now the VOD is at 17 seconds. And we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, volume. There we go.
This is Turbo. I'm here also.
Oh yeah, whoops.
So we're doing a basic 42 start. It looks like, or 41, I guess.
Yeah, about that. I actually talked to him. I think yesterday we spoke about that, Zero, about the starting strats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Basic neutron bomb starter though. It seems like doing the landing and turn around strat, which is fine.
Yeah, I stopped doing like the air slash, the uppercut and stuff because I figured it was too much of a pain to save like 1 second.
Yeah.
You can choose to do so if you want to as you get closer and closer into sub 8s or things like that. You can always implement it a little bit later. Just don't hold off on it too long because it is going to be every start to every run. So like, getting something that can be a strong start at the very beginning is nice.
Yeah.
But
I think we figured out the buffer yesterday for the uppercut at the start.
Yeah, I didn't know that you had to buffer the uppercut.
Side note, if you do end up facing left on the uppercut when you go into the upper place, you can always just recover by air slashing to the right to pick up the candle. So
my shield dashing is a different method. I hold the controller somewhat sideways and I use my index and middle finger on Y and B.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's how you still do it?
Yeah, because when I do it with one thumb, which is how like the normal way to do it, the way that Mitako does it, for some reason my thumb hurts after like half a minute or something.
Interesting.
So if that works for you, it's fine.
Yeah.
The reason why I tend to recommend people to try different methods is because if you do that, you're going to have finger and wrist fatigue, I feel like, much quicker. And
yeah, my right wrist yesterday hurt a lot because I did like attempts for like an hour.
Right.
And yeah.
So like for something like that, because there's like different ways that you can use the one thumb technique. If you're finding that your finger is hurting, it could be that you're putting too much emphasis on your finger itself. I can't really explain too much how to do it, but your goal should be to try to make it so that you're using more of the compounds of your arm. If you're doing one thumb, that means you're pretty much just going to be using up to maybe your bicep and below. But just try different techniques to get a feeling like it's less on your finger and more on like your wrist and forearm.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
As with anything, don't be too concerned about speed. Consistency is the key.
Yeah, that's
so one thing. So one thing I can notice immediately as you're doing this climb in the alchemy lab, and it's something I used to do a lot. These jumps are what I say are the jumps are to the moon. So like try to make a concentrated effort to tighten up your jumps so that you spend less time in the air and more time kind of like landing and moving and getting back on the ground. Good places to train that are in these sections where you're climbing up the alchemy lab and in the outer wall after doppelganger. If you can kind of tighten those up, you'll see gains very quickly in those two areas. And that just takes time and practice. Make the concentrated effort. You can even clear the area in the outer wall and just practice the jumps.
Yeah, I think the biggest flaw right now in everything is not like XP route or library clip or clock rush. It's actually my movement. I think that's what's causing me like lose the most time.
That's pretty much almost always the case, honestly, even in high-end runs in this game. When it comes to shield dashing, I would still advise you to at least try and figure out a way to do it the Sotoryu method or the Dragon Blitz method. And if it feels like it doesn't work for you, that's because it seems like, from what I've spoken to different people, you need to find your own swivel point for that. And that can take some experimentation. Like, I do it in a different way than Dragon Blitz, and he does it in a different way than Sotoryu. It's like a slightly different hand positioning and swivel. Like, for example, I hold the controller with my middle finger in the back, and I almost like swivel the controller on top of my middle finger, sort of. But yeah, you can try and figure out what would be the hand placement for that.
In this part, my shield dashing is faster because I do the two-hand method in this part. Like, only in this part, because I don't have to like move a lot and stuff. So
yeah.
So same thing with the two-handed method that I was mentioning before. Again, consistency is key, but also, again, if you're looking to push your times more and more, that means you have to play more and more. So
here
kind
before
of de-emphasizing.
Here when you enter outer wall and you
back?
jump up, you really don't want to transition to the next screen.
What?
So okay,
let's
let me
go back a little bit. It's going to be at about 520 or so. This is a really small optimization, but it's just...
I actually know this, but I accidentally... I sometimes mess up the jump where I would either jump like way too short and I would actually miss the ledge instead of, landing.
So that's here's why that could be happening. So let's go to 538 and unpause. Now tell me when you're all there.
Okay, I'm at 538, and he's just started his jump up to the upper section. So, like, this isn't honestly that big of a deal. This is really more of a symptom of what I was talking about before.
Exactly.
Where you're jumping much higher than you need to.
But and because you do that on the previous jump, it makes you go further right, so that makes you unsure about how the jump after that it's gonna be.
Yeah.
The other thing would be that this kind of gets exacerbated, or this idea of jumping too high gets exacerbated because I believe on Xbox it's like 1/10 of a second, I want to say, to transition up and then down, so you lose like 1/5 of a second. So it seems like a much longer time to be able to hit the ground again. This gets even worse on PlayStation, but I assume we're doing 360 here, right?
Yeah, it's
obviously.
Yeah. Okay, so, but yeah, that's just, and that's one of those things that, like, if you're making a concentrated effort on pushing your jumping to make it more crisp, that'll clean itself up. Are we ready to resume again?
Oh, I thought you did. That's fine. Let's go to...
I'll skip over to Doppel. So Doppel kill, nothing happening here.
6 minutes flat.
Yeah.
6 minutes flat. Okay. I'll go to 605.
Got the Vape Nation smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all very basic. I assume you know that you can hold like up and right in mash attack.
Yeah, it was kind of far from him, so that time
right. I just as a general thing, if you're close enough, you can hold up and right and mash.
If you're far, you can hold up and mash shield dash. That's also gonna work.
So this is probably gonna get redone for the climb, but I mean, again, really the main thing to take away here is again just the jumping, and like again, this is a really good place to practice.
Yeah, doing the double dash and jump is actually pretty good way to do it quickly, but not riskily, if that makes sense. Like for the archer guy and the bone muskets.
Yeah, obviously I didn't kill like the third one because I wasn't doing XP route here. I didn't know anything about it. And also, I didn't know anything about the item placement, and I knew all this from yesterday when I was streaming, and he told me all of it.
Yeah, that's not... I mean, that's fine optimizations that aren't really...
Yeah, so if I pick up odd number of items, the library card will be like down, down, down.
Yeah, it's going to be on the left side, which will improve... Obviously, it's quicker to equip, and it also improves the equip menu after the shop. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But like, I forget most of the time, so whatever.
So even if you're subconsciously doing it, just knowing
How
that...
do you turn left with the wolf there?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. At the end of the...
Let me actually
At the timer,
do this.
7:45 with the timer.
Yeah, look at my stream. If you're, are you watching my
Hold on
stream?
a second. No.
Okay, let me do this.
All right, let's go ahead and go back a little bit. We will go to 7:40 on the timer. Okay, on the split rather.
Okay.
On the split.
Yes. So that'd be 8 minutes flat on the video.
Okay.
And that'll give the lead up towards it. What I was going to say is, as a side note, I don't know if you're cognizant of it or not, you can cancel your sword slash with the wolf transformation. It looked like you did it in the video. I just didn't know if that was something you had picked up on or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zero, are you watching my stream?
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and explain this. Oh my god. That's a bad six that I made for this. Okay, so right here, when I touch this thing, I stop holding left and I start holding right. So what happens is, oh my god, this was a terrible idea.
So it's kind of like right after you get off of the airborne section.
Yeah, so you're gonna do a little hop here, and here you're gonna let go of left, and in the air.
Oh, so as soon as like I
much...
land, I turn right.
No.
You
let go.
You know how
That's
you're
the
running,
important part.
and you know how you're running, and you kind of
you slide.
The wolf kind of like bounces off of the stairs.
Yeah, that's what I meant
Yeah.
with with the land.
Right.
So I turn right.
So
mid
during that fall,
Yeah.
fall, let go of forward.
Yeah.
Because if you
as you fall down, you can turn around.
Yeah, because if you instantly press right, he's just gonna keep going forward. That's the problem.
Yeah, because I have this problem with the library as well. Because instead of doing that, I would always jump, and that's I think like slower by maybe a second or half a second.
Yeah, it's
at the library after I kill the demon.
Right.
Yep.
Same principle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's resume.
Okay, so I'm gonna resume starting at 8 minutes. All right.
Okay.
So 3, 2, 1, go. And that's how you get that lead up approach. If you wanted to do the full wolf strat, you can work on that.
Yeah, it is faster.
It looks.
Yeah. Quite a bit.
I have an alternate strategy that I use where I damage boost off of the right Ouija table, and
I
it
think
just gets
Rom
me
does
to
that,
Alucard
right?
Again.
Well,
It really
I think Rom does that.
It really doesn't matter too much which way you go. That's just the way I feel comfortable, and since I can consistently do sub 8, it's not an issue for me.
Yeah, so this was like the fastest clock rush we've ever gotten, is when I opened the door at 8:12.
Yeah.
That's fine. So here,
for
I
these
told you this
skeletons-
yesterday, but you really want to jump when you kill them. Because you're gonna bonk off of the ceiling and it's gonna cancel your attack.
Jump with the guys on the what?
The Skelorangs.
The Skelerans.
You're turning and killing them. If you're going to kill them, you want to use jump attacks.
Is that what you meant?
If you if you wanted to skip them, like Rom does and the high-end players do, you can do that as well, but that's a much tighter time space, and your jumps have to be on point. So
I tried to skip them, but I think it's like you have to precisely time it and be in a certain position, otherwise you'll get hit by them.
Yeah, it's a very small optimization, and really, until you start pushing lower times, killing them's probably a better option.
It's not worth it now.
I think DB kills them in the world record, so...
Yeah.
So that the way you kill the Blade Master isn't really correct, but otherwise...
Yeah. I didn't know that you're supposed to backdash and then hit him twice.
Yeah.
I just learned the way that you manipulate their movements.
He can still be a little bit of a dick sometimes if you slightly mess up, but I mean, that's kind of how that goes.
Yeah, I have to kill one Blade Master, right?
Yeah, only the first one. Well, we're about to remove that, but that's another story. That's an interesting
Yeah,
way
that's
to do
true.
book jump, but
Yeah, I think it was too late, right?
did you manually adjust for that?
Well, I always do it like this, to be honest. I
Okay, so
do jump
that's
maybe
not
too
gonna
late.
be a consistent way to do books.
That's
You
that's why
kind of
books
got
is one
lucky.
of like the main reset. You know?
I mean, that's just kind of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's
just
true. That's
you
true.
work on it, you try it, and you see kind of what works.
Yeah, the more
Yeah.
consistent is the place where you jump from and the place where you miss, the more consistently the book is going to behave.
Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah.
first step
That's-
to making that better. Although in
It
general
looks
you
like
jump
you're
like
using it looks like you're using the hold button strat for garnets right now, correct? Like you just hold right.
Yeah, I can't mash. I tried to
That's
mash
fine.
once, and I kept going down instead of right, and it was embarrassing.
you pretty much
So like
go ahead.
if you
No,
wanted
no,
to
no.
work on that, it has to do with just bracing yourself and bracing your hand and your controller in such a way that you
Yeah,
won't get the
I
down
saw
motion.
Mitaka do it at ESA.
But like people do it different ways. Like I do it differently than I think some of the other runners. Rom does it differently than I do it. It's just
I think there with the Fleeman, I shouldn't have done a full jump, right?
1 second. I think not there yet.
Okay,
Okay.
on the timer,
let's
it's
go
11.
ahead and let's
Oh,
go ahead
11:04 on the
and
timer.
What's your video time right now? And pause, please.
all right.
On the
Let's
video
go.
timer, it's 11:23.
Okay,
No, you did
so
it
I'll go
fine.
to.
Well, yeah, but I did a full jump and then I had to turn right for a bit. I think
Well,
if
you
you do
shouldn't
like half a
have.
jump,
Don't worry about the damage boost. It doesn't actually
Yeah,
save time.
it's
doesn't?
irrelevant.
No, not
It's
really.
Oh,
You might as
I
well
thought
have
it saved time.
continued. What's actually better is to jump a little bit later and land on the edge, the ledge, that's not the
Oh,
lower
yeah, because
floor.
I've always been getting the damage boost because I thought it saved time.
Yeah, not
All right,
not
so are
really.
we resuming?
Yeah, 3, 2, 1,
Okay.
go.
All right, sorry.
So yeah, don't really worry about that
Alright.
damage boost. It's not.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
It's whatever. Lesser demon, we mentioned that the whole letting go as you kind of fall.
Yeah.
And don't
That's
jump
that.
So
there
you
as well.
howl and then jump. Yeah, I did. As I said, I did that jump because I didn't know how to do the.
As a
thing.
side note, with the way that you jumped there, you can actually mess up the camera. So
Oh yeah,
just don't do that if
that's
you
a
can.
funny glitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That's a way to put it.
Yeah, it's run ending glitch.
All right. Let's
Really
see
fun.
what. Okay, so it looks like you're doing the more basic library escape where you just ride the. Stairs,
Yeah, I
which
haven't
is fine.
learned the clip because Talix said it's not even worth unless you get like a sub 17 run, and I understand what he means.
So, okay, let's go back a little bit. I'm gonna go back to. I'm gonna go back to about 12:10. Okay.
Okay.
So 12:10 and pausing. That should be hitting the right side of this. So real quick, just to point it out, there is a more optimized library escape without using the clip. It has to do with using terrain boosting in the room in between the library and the hall before librarian. There's a little bump that you use to like boost up.
Oh yeah, I
That's
see
something you can
Mitako
look into.
do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
see
can do it.
Mitako do it.
You can do it both off of the floor and off of the ceiling.
That's something
Yeah.
you can look up or that you can work on. I would probably end up doing what you ended up doing here for now, just because it's only about 2 seconds slower than
Yeah.
what
But
you do optimally, and
it's
it's
a
still pretty
good thing
good.
to practice because it trains you a lot of advanced wing smashing stuff.
Yeah, as you
especially if
get
you do it off of the ceiling.
as your wing smashing gets better and better, you're going to have other places where that becomes applicable. So that's when you start to kind of train that so you can apply it to other areas.
Yeah.
The more important thing that I wanted to point out here was as you're going back the other way with the ectoplasms, you transition into the lower room. Once you go to the lower room, you dive kick out of your transformation. So what you can do, if you're wing smashing and you're going downward, you should be able to fall in such a way that you don't get a big fall. if you dive kick, you will always get the big fall animation.
Oh, really? You should
So
miss
unless
that.
you're willing, to jump cancel out of that, you should just fall and either miss bat, or you should fall and when you land, do a bat dash and then turn and go.
You're talking about the
Yeah.
lowest floor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's just a matter of transitional movement.
Yeah.
If your mana's not great, you might not want to do the misbat. If your mana's fine, like, then it should be totally fine. Like, there
Also,
shouldn't be really too much of an issue with mana.
in case you don't know this, you can misbat in different ways and it has slightly different results. If you misbat slowly, it's gonna take 10 mana for a misbat. If you...
Yeah, I do know that. Yeah.
Okay. It also affects your trajectory, but that's not super relevant for this run.
Yeah.
Are we gonna
So
resume?
I'm gonna be resuming at 12:18 on the actual video. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So 3, 2, 1, go. But yeah, so that's just a matter of transitional movement. But that is something to train when you're at this point. Jumping up is fine. Yeah, this is all fine so far.
I mean, the wing smashes are starting up a little bit late, but that's gonna just go down with time.
Yeah, Clock Tower is quite a clown fiesta when it comes to movement and wing dashing.
Yeah, you went a little bit too high up here.
Yeah, I would like I can't find the actual balance. I either go too high or too low.
It comes down to, it's more... Okay, let me pause.
Yeah,
Talk
I
about
actually
it.
timed it. It's apparently six. It's 6 wing dashes.
Well, depends, really. People do it in different amounts. What you need to find is a good rhythm, because, for example, what I do is I bat dash, I wing smash once against the stairs, I wing smash twice upwards, then I have 3, which levels me off, and I go down on the third one. People do
Yeah.
it in different ways, so you need to kind of find what your rhythm with your wing smashes is, and where exactly you need to level off, because you need to go up and then kind of go straight after that, and optimally go down after that.
So the time in which you do wing smashes is something that you can start to pay attention to. And that has to do with dealing with transitions, dealing with level ups, like for your inputs, and also being able to use the least amount of mana that you can. Because, for example, for the relic skip, there's people that take 7 to 8 wing smashes to make it into the final Drac chamber, and that's not a matter of that's how you're supposed to do it. They just wing smash way too quickly.
Yeah.
So they're wasting all of this mana and like
For nothing.
having to push execution way more for no real gain. So like try to get in the habit of paying attention to kind of when do I need to wing smash quickly or more quickly, and when can I kind of let my wing smash ride.
Okay, I'm at 13:03, and I'm gonna be unpausing in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so you're doing the very basic climb inside the clock tower, which is fine. You can take a look
Yeah.
at the tip boost. It's not too difficult.
Yeah, I don't do the damage boost yet.
Okay, misbat here.
Very
good.
conservative for the...
Here, you don't want to fly up forward. Oh, you do the glitches strat, basically. I see. That's probably where that muscle memory is from.
Yeah.
So you ascend faster if you just go straight up.
Yeah.
And you move faster forward if you just move forward. So basically what you want to do is just go straight up and then wing smash across.
Before cross one, there was some stuff, but you can look up the positioning for that wing smash if you want a dive kick for the cross one is pretty much at the start of that. Whoa, that was a pretty quick Richter skip actually.
Yeah, I barely get it first try. I usually get it second or third try.
The jump method is a little bit, you kind of have to manually adjust after it, so you can do the sliding bat method. basically when the wolf lands on the ledge, you press bat, and the bat's gonna naturally slide forward, and he's gonna be at the perfect height, so you don't need to adjust.
Wait, really? You can
Yeah.
actually do that?
Yeah, that's the one that Dragon Blitz uses, and Taco, I think Rome
Okay.
does not.
So we're gonna go. I'm going to the reverse outer keep. I'm going to be pausing the video at about 14:18. This is where the start of the technique goes down. It seems like you kind of misjudged your positioning, so you ended up untransforming at the beginning of the reverse keep, or not the beginning, but the beginning of the open area.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and I'm guessing that kind of messed up a little bit of what was happening next here. Something you can do for the first wing smash going upright. If you look in the background, there's the tower, the clock tower. What should be happening is the camera should kind of scroll into where the corner of the tower is. So like in the case of this video, you missed bat a fair bit early for the way I do it. Normally that corner on the clock tower in the back would be much closer to the edge of the screen. So you're losing like a little bit of upward momentum by holding off there. The other thing is it seems like you're ending up not gaining enough height on the wing smash. That could just be from a lack of position. Do you do 360 up to up on your wing smash?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go up to up so you get the max height. All right.
Yeah.
So you just basically just didn't catch quite enough height there. When you wing smash into the inside room, that one wing smash, if you actually let that wing smash ride, you land onto the platform on the bottom left. And you can use that to basically use your mana prism so that you have mana for the rest of that. And then after that, you basically just jump on top of the platform and jump up and turn into the bat. Does that make sense, or do I gotta kind of talk you through that a little bit?
No, yeah, I understand what you meant.
Okay. But yeah, you'll notice that like you had to take an untransform there onto the elevator to get the mana prism there.
Yeah, and if you didn't miss bat, you were not going to be able to land on it.
Yeah. So another thing I would point out as you get better and better, along the same line as jumping, start to get used to when you should start to untransform your bat before doors. Like try to get some visual cues. Because that time that you spend at doors untransforming before you can open them is pretty appreciable, actually, I was finding. So just try to find positional cues in the background or whatever for when you can manually untransform. And that'll save you actually quite a few seconds over the course of a run.
Yeah.
Where are you guys at in the video?
I'm currently climbing on
Yeah, I'm
room.
climbing as well.
Oh god. Okay, I'm gonna catch up.
It's like 15:07 on the timer.
Okay.
There's also some optimizations you can do on the end of the imp room there that are along that same line as the optimal library escape.
Yeah, you would wing dash up and not miss bat. Continue to wing dash.
Yeah.
It has to be like in a perfect alignment.
Yeah, and that's just getting used to the directions. Or not getting used to the directions, but getting used to...
What are you trying to do at the
wing
start
smash.
of Coliseum here?
Coliseum is also a clown fiesta.
So
All right, let's go to the beginning of it. Where's this at? This is going to be at...
1536.
1541.
Well, the thing I want to say is you really want a mana prism before you enter the
Yeah, I
transition.
don't know what the hell am I doing.
And then there are
Okay.
several different ways to start this. The
I
safest
guess,
is
well,
to
real
jump.
quick, on the mana prism thing, something to note. If you mana prism before hitting the door, it'll go off. If you mana prism after going through the door, it'll go off. If you mana prism inside of the loading hall and you hit the other door before it goes off, it will cancel out.
Yeah.
So you want to try to hit your mana prisms before you open the door or after you go through. Or if you're going to pop a mana prism inside of the room, then you have to wait for it to go all the way through, which is usually quite slow. So it looks like you do like a walk forward on these Minotaurs or something. Did you just forget what you were gonna do, or do you have a real
Well,
strat
no,
for
I
that
remember
room?
the
Or...
strat where they would walk up forward and then bat, and then be like at ground level, and then they would do a wing dash up.
So the better way to do that is to jump and that, because you end up being low to the floor.
Yeah, so what you do is you do like a short hop at the beginning,
Oh
and kind of where you land is where you can turn into a bat and start your wing smash upward. That gives you good positioning on the staircase so you don't get ejected downward into the hall as well. A strat that Rom used to do is he'd hit the ground, he'd bat dash, and then kind of hold a right as he was bat dashing. If you take the full bat dash, you actually just run into the Minotaur, so that's not great. But if you hold right as you do it, then it kind of pulls you back in somewhat. I
Is
think
that-
either of those strats is fine.
Do you end up dropping
just-
the wing smash chain often in the Minotaur Werewolf room in the middle?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I mistime it and not do a wing dash before entering the room, and that would fuck
So
it
do
up,
you
I guess.
feel it? Do you feel it like when your hand's out of position?
Yeah.
So if you feel like because I tend to have a feeling for when I think that my hand's in the right place or if I hit a wing smash. If you don't feel like you're gonna hit the wing smash there, don't be afraid to misbat before the transition.
Yeah.
You know, because the misbat is far less costly than dropping out.
And also, if you haven't already, figure out the number of wing smashes with your particular rhythm for that room. Because it's going to be different. Like, Matako wing smashes an extra time compared to me. I do 4 before that room, 2 inside of the room, and 3 after the room. So that could be different for you.
You're noticing a
Yeah.
pattern here as well, where we're talking about a lot of people tend to count their wing smashes in a given room.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the problems. I don't really count, so I'm not like keeping attention.
Yeah.
Okay,
And that really
so-
has to come with section practice as well, because if you're doing it in a vacuum, your positioning could be off. So you really have to start at the beginning of an area
Yeah.
and move.
Yeah,
from
I
there.
think that's one of the main problems. Is I don't think I've ever actually practiced certain sections, and I usually just do like full runs, and not practice, this particular section, like in the clock tower, Coliseum, etc.
Both have value. So
Yeah, obviously.
when you enter the what's it called? The reversal rocks.
Yeah.
What you do, I see, is you misbat at the middle so that you don't get boosted down. What you can just do is just tap down and then hold up. Sorry. So that you avoid
Yeah, like
that bump.
a lot of these things, I actually already know them. I just don't do them because I'm stupid.
That's fine.
But yeah, I know that when you do the wing dash, you're supposed to do it somewhat down, and then wing dash to the stairs, so it would align you up.
You don't actually wing smash down. You just kind of tap down for.
Okay,
for
hold
like
on.
a
I
little bit.
think you guys might be talking about a different area.
Yeah, I mean,
So I think one that
1606.
Talik is talking about. I think what Talik is talking about is the very first room with the Azagal.
Yeah.
So in the Azagal room, when you come out of the door and you bat dash, there's a ledge below you, and if you press down, you kind of get on that ledge, like get on the same level with it, scrape against it. And if you do that, then you can actually wing smash straight up, and you kind of bypass that junction where the Azagal is. The fear there is if you don't kind of scrape the bottom, then if your wing smashing isn't on point, you hit the slope that's to the upper left, and that sends you into the Azagal. In the case of your video, you actually misbat there because you're kind of concerned about your positioning. And the thing
Yeah.
is if you just go down that little bit during the bat dash, then you eliminate that being an issue at all.
Yeah, you can do that, or doing the wing smash. Either way, whichever is more comfortable for you.
Yeah. So if you're confident in your ability to wing smash in a straight line constantly, then you can just bat dash and go. If you're still kind of sketchy on it, then you can spend that extra like quarter of a second to just drop down a little bit and go. The one you're talking about, I think, is where you're trying to go through the zigzag room and go through the first portion. Which, yeah, you're saying that you know about the banisters and how to kind of gauge that. So that's the main thing there, is just knowing that you hug the floor in the right position, and that'll get you through the first gap.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that there is to that. The position was fine. Oh, I see you try to hug the actual slopes on the zigzag room here. That's not faster. So you might as well just zigzag wing smash across and fly up a little bit on each one instead of going all the way to the slopes.
So if I wing dash to the stairs to align myself, it's not actually faster.
I'm not sure if we're talking about
With the
something.
extra amount of height that you need, like, you're purposely flying up in order to get to the stairs, and in that case, no, it's not going to really save you time.
Yeah.
In general,
Especially since you're spending extra time transitioning your hand to get into wing smash positioning and everything. So
you also want to wing smash actually as far as you can, which is a little bit counterintuitive in this room because both the vertical and the horizontal speed of the wing smash is so much better than flying that you want to spend more time wing smashing.
So I got a pro tip for you. So here's another thing that it took me a while to understand that top runners were doing it. So when you missed bat, okay, turn around in the missed bat. What's happening is you're actually missed batting and then turning around. And you're actually losing a sizable portion of time every single time that you're turning around. So, like, over the course of the run, that's actually quite a few seconds. So, like, what you're doing is you're pressing the input for missed bat and you're holding the opposite direction so you turn around immediately.
Depends on the location, though. Don't do it everywhere. Because if you need to fly up and you want to be further forward to your previous wing smash, in that case you wouldn't do it. But if you want to turn around as fast as possible and then start another wing smash, then definitely do it.
Yeah. Because you lose, like, I think it's like a second and a half or 2 seconds in the zigzag room alone.
Do you know the setup here for a relic skip, by the way? Because I see you sort of
yeah, I do, but sometimes I don't. But sometimes I mess up the alignment and I don't find myself in the perfect position, and I'm like, okay, how the hell do I get it?
If you don't get the perfect position, so if you don't get the alignment, don't worry about the perfect position. Then you need to just do standard unsetup relic skip where it's still kind of there, but you have just a little bit of a different window to do it. So, first of all, to get it, in case, because I know my explanation is not super clear about that, you need to touch the ledge, fly straight up, and wing smash exactly from that position. So what you do is hold up, then hold jump, and then do the wing smash and let go so that the bat doesn't move at all. And then you want to transform kind of soon, so that you end up close to the position, because if you do any backdashing or shield dashing or stuff like that, it's gonna mess up the subpixel value that whole setup is supposed to fix. But yeah, if you don't get it, I mean, you do it pretty well. You do the starting position that you chose is pretty good. You just obviously didn't tap forward quick enough, which is fine. That's just gonna happen when you try and do it.
Like, this is the skip that I'm really good at and never mess up, but this time I messed it up and it made me lose 10 seconds. But
I see why you messed up. You messed it up in a way a player that knows what they're doing messed up, so that's fine.
Yeah, I didn't tap right quick enough.
Okay, you know about the
3-jump shaft, totally fine. That's.
Oh, you're that far ahead?
I mean, you guys were talking about relic skip, and I was just.
Let me see.
Can you actually do it with 2 jumps?
Yes.
It's possible, but the 3 jumps with the short hop's totally fine.
Yeah, I saw Talik do it with 2 jumps, but I think it's like an emulator keyboard only thing or something.
No. That's a standard strat. What you need to do is when Shaft reaches his orb, do a full jump and shoot one volley of Buffalo Stars kind of late. And the tricky part about that is you need to not spam, because if you miss him, the way Buffalo Stars work is you can only have so much on the screen, and then you kind of have to wait. So you pretty much jump up the first time, you shoot like 4 or 5 stars at him, and then you jump up again and you mash. And then when you land after your second jump, you just mash on the ground. You don't jump again. That's kind of the strat for that.
So, big thing. Did you just have a really sloppy drag fight here, or do we have to kind of?
Yeah, I was too distracted by the timer, so I fucked up and got hit twice because I kept
Okay.
looking at the timer and seeing if I'm gonna get the sub 18 because I was so focused on it. So yeah, that's what happened. Just a Clown Fiesta,
Okay.
That's fine.
and then I face bomb because I'm sad.
It's all right. So, as far as Drac goes, just as a small note, you want to try to attack towards the right on him because the hitbox is better to hit him going right. But it looked like every time you turned left, he jumped, so it didn't look like that was too much of an issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Overall, I
I
guess it was
guess-
an okay run.
I guess the main takeaways that I would say, based on this, is work on your jumps to make them more crisp, particularly in Outer Wall and Alchemy Lab. Implement that turning around during Mist Bat. Work on untransforming with Bat so that you spend the least time untransforming at doors. And lastly would be try to work on some type of shield dashing that will allow you to play this game for about 2 hours or so without getting fatigued.
Yeah,
Because,
that's
like, you're
definitely
gonna-
a minute.
Because, like, you're gonna, not only are you gonna hurt your hand and stuff, you're not gonna want to play the game as long. You're not gonna get in as quality of an attempts. As it gets later and later, it's just gonna get worse and worse in your attempts.
Yeah.
So, like, your
That's
arms
like-
should be warming up, not breaking down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like one of my main problems actually is the fact that I can't do more attempts or do more practice because my arms and fingers are getting tired so fast that I can't do runs for like more than 1 hour because at the end of that hour my hand and fingers are just dead.
Some
So
of
another
that
thing
is
that can help
endurance
with
that
that-
you're gonna build up, but some of it is also technique. For sure.
Another thing that'll help with that as well is if you feel like your hands are getting tired, load up a practice save for library and just practice some wing smashing.
Yeah,
stuff.
wing smashing.
You know
'cause
what I
it's
mean?
Easy, yeah.
Yeah, well, the
That's-
thing is, like, my hands have never heard from like wing dashing or anything or wing smashing.
But that's the
or
point:
anything
is you
like
give
that.
them a chance to rest. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And not
Yeah,
only that,
yeah.
not only are you giving them a chance to rest, you're still actively practicing, and you are still actively keeping your mind fresh on later parts of the run. Something that tilts a lot of players is they spend so much time on their clock rush and the initial part of the run, and you really just need to have more and more experience as you get later into the run, or else you start losing runs late on, and then you get discouraged and things like that. You know, it's about still having
Yeah.
that solid background late game to be able to fall back on as well. Because
Yeah.
this game isn't all in shield dashing, it's a lot more in the bat movement. So, like, if you can tighten that up a lot more, that's way more beneficial than anything
Definitely.
else.
I think that's like one of my main problems is the fact that like I'm still not really good at getting like sub 8 clock rush. So what would happen is I would always like reset a lot at Richter if I don't get, the 2 damage stacks or whatever, because I'm gonna lose a lot of time and this is not gonna make me get the sub 8 clock rush that I'm trying to get. And the constant resetting is really annoying and irritating in general.
Tightening up jumps and stuff like that for the actual clock rush is gonna help with that a lot, because it's gonna, like, you're gonna be surprised at how much time that actually loses, and it's gonna reduce a lot of that need to reset and stuff like that.
Yeah, like if I have less resets, that would make the world a better place.
And just some comfort, because like in some places, like I do that a lot when I play with controller. I'm not used to playing with like my hands are not used to it. When you build up muscle memory, you're not gonna have some of these places where you kind of, your hands don't know what to do and you lose 2 seconds for no reason at all. So that's also gonna help.
Yeah.
And not resetting also helps with that, I guess. Yeah, those are pretty much the main things.
Any other tips you would say, Talek, before we kind of close this out?
I think we covered the main things. Also, do like make some practice saves for some sections.
Well,
Um,
I already have them
Yeah.
because I made some for glistless.
Yeah, you can do library, escape, and then you can do some Colosseum in Second Castle, for example. Those are the two that I'm thinking of right now. That could be very
Yeah.
beneficial.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I
Alright,
see you
thank
know
you
a lot of
guys
those stuff,
for
how
this.
to do them properly, and just these tiny mistakes in this PB are just gonna get ironed out in the future. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, a lot of these things I do know. I just don't find like the motivation to do them because I feel like I'm still not that fast enough. Like obviously I'm gonna do a lot of the strats that save a second or two when they're actually impactful because I'm getting to a level where I'm fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, but why would I like do that strat to save like 2 seconds if I have an 18-minute PB and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, if it's easy, do
But
it.
You
But
always should strive to work on things.
yeah,
You
Yeah,
don't
obviously.
need to do everything, but you should always be trying to push 1 to 3 more things into the run.
Yeah. Like right now, I'm gonna implement the XP route and hopefully fix up the Clown Fiestas with the movement, so I'll be a lot better by that.
like particularly you can focus on just the long tower before Slogra Gailon, because that's a very visually obvious way when your jumps are being too high. Because you're gonna end up
Yes, so
jumping
you're
all the
saying I'm
way.
jumping too high and not, jumping to like the certain
You jump to the platform, not over the platform.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Now, don't fall. But
Obviously.
again, that just takes practice to get used to how much you need to hold the button and everything. So,
Yeah.
you want to play us out here, Talik?
I mean, that was pretty much it. That's it gonna be from us. We're gonna maybe do some more analysis in the future. We're just gonna. I thought that it would be interesting for us to say these things on video and maybe help some other people out, or maybe they're gonna find this interesting instead of just doing it in some chat somewhere. But yeah, that was it from us for this time. We're gonna be doing some other videos soon for the long library, so stay tuned for that. But for now, that was it from me. I was Talek Zealot.
I'm Turbo Dog.
I'm Zero.
We'll see you guys next time.
All right. Thanks guys for the help. We appreciate it.
No
Yeah,
problem.
sure. And you can